Here we are at the end of August, and we still don't have El Nino conditions in the atmosphere or in the ocean, even though they had been predicted by now to have started. The forecast is still for onset of El Nino, only it's delayed a little bit. Now we're expecting it either in September or in October, and we're expecting the peak strength to be a little bit less than we had thought earlier. More likely it will be weak, but second most likely it will be moderate. Then third most likely is we will not have an event, and the least likely of all is that we get a strong event. Most of our best and trusted dynamical models are still predicting an event to start in the next, say, 6 weeks or something like that. In the last few months, the ocean conditions had been at the borderline of El Nino, but the atmosphere didn't participate, so we didn't have an event the way we think of an event, where both atmosphere and ocean are participating. Right now, however, the atmosphere is beginning to show signs of the onset of El Nino, while the ocean is less suggestive right at the moment. We think coupling of ocean and atmosphere is more likely now because the intertropical convergence zone, a band of enhanced convection that has been north of the equator because of the time of the year, is now moving southward and will be over the equator in the next month or two. This sets the stage for an easier coupling of ocean and atmosphere, so that if the ocean temperature does get just a little bit above average, and it already is hinting at being a little above average near the date line, that will be more likely to produce significant anomalous convection. And that is what coupling requires. That will get started the inflow from the west side of low-level winds, which should increase further the sea surface temperature. It's a condition where both the ocean and the atmosphere are enhancing one another due to their positive feedback. That is more likely to happen at this time of the year than it was a few months ago. So that's a sign that it will take less to get an El Nino triggered now than it did 2 months ago. And the climate effects going along with it are still in force in our forecasts. For example, above normal precipitation is being considered likely in eastern equatorial Africa. Above normal cropping up later in the autumn in southeastern South America. And we have central southwestern Asia, also expecting above normal precipitation, a tilt of the odds in that direction. And Indonesia, which is quite important, is expected to be dry for the next 5 months in our forecasts. So the event is still on, it's taken a hiatus. Our probability for getting an El Nino by, say, November is 70 to 75%, but it is expected to be weak in strength.